All right, man. Here we go. Here we go. Another episode of the Coach Tmo Show. I mean, I'm Coach C, and of course, that's Coach Tmo. I think this is episode number 8 now. Episode number 8, man.
We doing a little minute.
So, I think it's number 8, man.
Yeah, probably dropped off at that.
yeah, but I figure since the end of the regular season, anyway, we'll bring this thing back. First winning season, head coach, got a 6-4. First winning season since 2019.
Yeah.
I know we're happy about that, man. You know, speak a little bit about how the season, you know, from your vantage point, how the season went. How you feeling about your first winning season? You know.
Yeah, you know when you locked into it and you just doing it from day to day, week to week, you don't got time to kind of reflect. This is kind of like the first week because we on that pause in between the selection show and F.I.T and all that stuff. So we don't kind of know where we at. So right now we kind of pause. I had time this week to kind of go back and reflect on the season and the work that it took to get us to this point. To be 6-4, I think we kind of came into the year. You know, we knew like the floor, probably like 5-5. The floor, right. The ceiling somewhere between 73 and 82, and so we were somewhere in the middle. We ended up dropping that one that we had in the bag against Winter Haven. You know, against Winter Haven, and we didn't finish the second half, and they came back. Gutsy team came back and won the ball game, and which kind of got us at the 6-4. So we was somewhat playing around with that 73, but we didn't close the gate on that. So that's why we kind of in this limbo situation right now. You know, trying to figure out did we do enough to get into this postseason.
Yeah. So the time this will be posted, this is tomorrow. I posted tomorrow, so this will be everybody else looking at it on Wednesday, but we posted this, filming this on Tuesday. So right now we are in limbo. We don't know if we have an extra playoff game or if we have a F.I.T game. But before we get into that, some games that definitely got away with us, Glade Central, man.
DC, man, just think, like I said, we was, obviously we have not caught them yet, you know what I mean, or where they at. I think they 9-1 right now. They lost 1. Mm-hmm. All right, they close to being undefeated, actually. So we just have not caught them yet as a program. Just the athleticism that they have, they can match us. But I think the separation from us was up front. You know what I mean? Having the tackle they got, having the D-line that they got, number 8, they got a defensive end. I mean, we have not caught that yet. And a lot of our O-line, D-line is babies. You know, comparison to them, a lot of their guys are 26s. You know what I mean? So I think number 8 is a 26. The kid who won Florida is a 26. A lot of our guys, you know, our best offensive linemen, whether you say it's Carl Vilma or whether you say it's Zachariah Vazquez, they both 28. You know what I mean? Our best D lineman is Raphael Aker. He's a 28. So we going against 26s when you're talking about O-line, D-line. So we haven't caught them yet as a program. But the game did get away from. We didn't want to get to that point. But GC came in with a good mindset, a good game plan, defensively and offensively. And they put it together and they kind of put it on us. And you say the same thing also for Palmy Central. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The same thing that you talking about a team that's full of 26 guys. You know, again, with our guys, you know, we got a bunch of 27, 28s, and 29s. We start, 2 or 3 29s. So we playing teams that, you know, that's 26 across the board. I think Jupiter got 29, 30, 26,
something like that.
You know what I mean? So the teams that we dropped it to, we you know, you kind of can predict those things. And but a couple of those games kind of got away from us. Those 3 losses, like you said, I thought we should have closed the door on Winter Haven, but we didn't. But the 3 losses that that kind of got away from us, if you look at all 3 of those teams, you're talking about those teams are full of 26s and older and mature players compared to where we at.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. I mean, you know, which we talked about it going into this 2 years ago or 3 years ago now. This year 3 for us now, was how you developing that program is playing those younger guys, getting them in that fire early. Yeah. I mean, even we start year 1, we start with Duke.
Yep.
For true freshmen, you know what I mean? And then now we got...
Last year we started with Mike Kelly.
Oh, yeah, last year we had Mike Kelly. So, last year we had Mike Kelly. That's another sophomore kid. He's a sophomore now, 5 interceptions. Started all year at safety. As a freshman, he started all year at receiver. You know, and then I mean, obviously next year probably getting more both ways next year. And then this year, we can speak to. We had Tishon Thomas, Trent Scott, freshman. And, you know, so what do you see out of those 2 young guys that kind of almost keep the tradition going, playing freshmen? You know,
the big thing we knew. You know, we called Trent Spider-Man, man. So we knew I knew Spider-Man coming into, the summer, man. Like just, you know what I mean, coming to the summer and seeing him lock up out there in 707. You know what I mean? Those kind of situations is a good indicator. When we talk about 707, you get to see corner play or receiver releases and stuff like that. You kind of can tell, where they'll be at when the season get here. So we knew with Trent Scott, Trent is different. So we knew that we would be able to kind of plug him in at corner day one. I don't think nobody plays as much man coverage as we do. We play man 99%. We even get in his zone. The coach on the sideline, hey man, why we in his zone? Lock up. So Trent got out there and locked up all year long, hold his own. He went through some adversity with some games, but the kid quickly bounced back, be ready to go the very next series. Tayshawn caught a ball. We played Miami Edison in the summer at FAU 707. And Tayshawn playing the edge, then he wasn't even playing the slot. He playing the edge. And they went man-to-man with Tayshawn on the backside. And I want to say the first snap, Julian throws the ball to Tayshawn. He catches, he do the Michael Jordan, right? He put the right hand up and put the other one down. However he did it, but and caught it with one hand. And we knew then he was going to be special. So when we got to the season, we put him in this actual spot at the H. Tayshawn had a huge year, third leading receiver on the team. And that's saying something because we throw the ball probably more than anybody in the county in the run and shoot offense. So Tayshawn, third leading receiver on the team as a freshman. Big game, man. Big play after big play. Tayshawn against Dwyer, man, the catch he made on the sideline over there. Tayshawn came into his own. So big time plays by Tayshawn, big time plays by Trent all year long. Those guys, man, has a very, very bright future. We're going to see how the offseason go with those guys with track and in the weight room, put on a little bit more size. But we look for those guys, man, really, like you said, keep the tradition going. Us playing freshmen early, you know what I mean? We do that. I don't know about other programs, stuff like that, but, you come into this program, we putting the freshmen out there early and let them play if they can go out there and play.
Yeah, they started every game. To have true freshmen out there just at corner, right? Just saying, hey, bro, it's on you.
And playing 7A ball. And look at our schedule, man. Right. You know what I mean? We ain't playing independent. We ain't playing, the independent teams and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Them kids out there playing against 10-0 Jupiter, 901 Glaze Central, John Carroll first game of the season. They playing up Palm Beach Central. They playing. So definitely, man, we throwing you out there. We throwing you out there.
Mm-hmm. And then then last year, we had Carl Vilmont starting at O-line, man. Yes. You still speak to his growth, man. What you see from him, and what we're looking forward to going forward.
Man, we just talking about the other day of the staff, man. I walked by the kid, man, like, man, Carl done grew another inch or two. Carl probably sitting close about 6'4" now, about 275, like you said. Last year, he started at left tackle for us as a freshman. This year, he started at left tackle for us as a sophomore. Just put the tape on with Carl Vilmont. Carl Vilmont is a power forward offensive lineman. Carl Vilmont is dominant up front. He's physical. He got a mean streak to him. At times we got to tell Carl to kind of take it back a little bit in games because he'll get a 15-yard. He's right on the edge of the 15-yard penalty. But Carl's a powerful kid, man. Carl, those, again, man, we starting 28s, 29s, and 27 across the board, man. And Carl really, out of that 28 group, man, he's probably right out there. Him and Raphael Aker and Zachariah Vaquez, man, those kids in that 28 group is tremendous.
Yeah, Big Z, man, Zachariah, man, that's another guy who played for us last year and played H-back for us. H-back/tight end.
Started
every game. You know what I mean?
Tight end as a freshman.
Him to make that transition to being a starting center.
Right.
I don't know if he played Little League or not. He played offensive line before.
I want to say he did.
Okay, so he might have did. Yes, I don't know. All the tapes I seen, he was playing DN or whatever.
Right.
But man, speak to that. Him be able to transition from the H back to
and how much you got to do in our offense as the center. You got to know all the blocking schemes. You got to know you got to know the adjustments. You got to know everything. And Z, man, took that. You got to think about it. Our last 2 years, our center's been seniors. You know what I mean? True. So we had Gentry Gray the first year, and we had Bolden the second year. Mm-hmm. And so now with Z being a sophomore starting as the center, Z, man, I'm talking about no flinch in him, no matter what game we playing. We go to Z sometimes, we play an odd team, and we don't want to double the nose. We telling Z, you got to be able to handle that nose, man. We gonna double it. Coach, I got no, we straight. Just let's run this, whatever. So Z, man, like I say, starting at center forwards is a 2028. Carl starting left tackle forwards is a 2028. Man, we are young, but good young. You know what I mean? Because we stepped out there and developed those kids and had those kids playing early for us. And man, I love the future of those kids, man. But Z is big time, and love the weight room, man. Right. Big time. I love the weight room, so that's a good thing for Z.
There's two other three other sophomores we kind of touch on quickly. Ben is Ralph, Big Ralph, man. You know, that's the one we kind of like,
man. Yeah, you know what? But I know. Kevin Westbrook, you know, that kid one of the best in the country.
Kevin Westbrook different.
Yeah. But my God, Raphael is right there, man. Raphael Aker, man. Again, another kid, man, just put on the tape, man, getting a lot of traction. I know when people say about Lace, you know, they talking about Timo, they talking about Ryan, those kind of kids like that. Pastor Julian ain't get caught into some of that stuff. But Raphael name, I'm telling you, man, when you talking about college coaches, just emailing about Raphael Aker, man. I just want to know information on him, you know, what the home life like, the mom, did that. I mean, Raphael finna take off, man. But he gonna be one of the best that don't come through this program in years, man. Raphael Aker, man, at D tackle. Kid is big time, man. Just got a motor, runs like a linebacker. I mean, just got the athleticism like a receiver. Strength like a D-line. I mean, he has it, man. Raphael has everything in the toolbox, man. He has everything. And then get him with Coach Jack. What Coach Jack has done, I mean, that was like heaven sent for him,
for real.
Like, he needed Coach Jack, man. Like, I'm talking about them two. They like oil and water at times, you know, dad and son. But my God, man, I'm talking about as far as Raphael go, man. You know, I got to give all the credit to Coach Jack, man. What Coach Jack doing with Raphael.
Yeah, no, man. Coach Jack was definitely a big get for us, and what Coach Jack is going to do with another offseason with him and Ralph. Ralph next year going to be a crazy monster.
Who gonna block?
Yeah. Too many people with that problem, man. Yeah. Another 28. So we got a bunch of is D'Amico, man. D'Amico Gordon, man. That's a kid when you put on the tape, you can look at him and say that kid, you know, quote unquote made money this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got his name out there. His tape is sick, man.
A dog. I coached a kid at Osprey named Raymond Saunders, and first time Raymond seen D'Amico, man, and he just can't wait to get back. To the phone, I got home and called him. Hey, man, he couldn't say his name right, whatever he called him. But I was like, yeah, Ray. I said he cut from what y'all was cut from, man. Like, he's a complete dog, man. Like, just, I mean, they had a big kid at the Wire, big tailback at the Wire, and he was getting down here. This kid probably about 220 pounds, the running back. And D'Amico hit him square on. Remember, like when Chris McCoy got hit by Steve Atwater?
Yeah.
You know, you seen that big collision. And the kid coming through on the inside zone, it's just him and D'Amico. And D'Amico just rocked him back, man. And, but D'Amico is a complete dog, man. Like, he's different, man. He cut different, man. He one of the 28 kids, another one of them kids, man. Like, he's big time. D'Amico Gordon.
Now, I think we said his name a little bit earlier, but, man, Mike Kelly, man, that's another cat who just cut like another 28 that just cut like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mike Kelly, and I believe, man, he showed himself this year, man.
Yeah.
And I was really, really proud to see, you know, when you look at his tape, you say, okay, then you know what I'm saying? What we thought what he was, he's starting to be that.
Yeah. You know? We did another 7-on-7 this summer, somewhere down in Miami there, somewhere down there when he caught the ball in.
Broward somewhere?
Somewhere down in Broward. And they threw a faux vert inside seam, and Mike caught the ball literally with one hand and brought it down with one hand and returned it. And I was like, man, like, to catch a ball like that, you know what I mean? And the way it was coming, and he caught the ball and it came down. I just said right then, Mike gonna be one of the best athletes, you know, again, in our area. Mike game this year with Jupiter. I think that's when people started noticing. We knew day one with Mike. That's why Mike started as a freshman at the X. But I think he arrived on the scene for most people outside with Jupiter game. You know what I mean? Playing the undefeated team. Mike had 2 interceptions in that game. So Mike Kelly is another one of those ones. And I guess you get to a point, you know, now that we having so many of them, especially athletes, that now that, you know, people kind of, you know, this one, that one, whatever it may be. But Mike Kelly is right out there when you talking about Timo, you talking about Ryan, you talking about those guys. He's right. Roy Butler, he's right up there with all those guys, man. And Mike just a sophomore. He's a 2028, man. Another one out that group.
Yeah, man. We got some good young guys, man. And then, we got the 2027 class. So that class is just loaded. That's loaded. You know what I'm saying? You got Ryan
loaded.
And then you got Julian loaded. And of course Timo, you know what I mean?
Loaded.
And speaking of that 27 class.
Oh, that's the class that came in with us, man. That's the class that we started with as freshmen. Obviously, some of those guys had trickled into the program, but we started in that 27 that's our class. Yes, we're ahead of the curve. We're ahead of the curve with this year here being 6-4. Like I said, we should have been 7-3. Shouts out to Winter Haven, y'all good job, man. Y'all closing that thing out, but we should have been 7-3. But we're ahead of the curve. But that 27 group, is our group and is our development. And I say this to that. Even I say kids trickling to the program. Ryan played at the independent school. Before he came to Palm Beach Lakes. Nobody knows too much about who Ryan Fernand was.
I ain't know who
Fernand was until he got here. And so, the kid came in the program and did the right thing. Same thing with Julian. Julian played JV at Palm Beach Central. He didn't too much play varsity football. I don't think he got a varsity snap, probably outside of 2 or 3 of them. He's another kid in that 27 class, and you on top of that, obviously Timo did all his years with us, you know what I mean? And he's one of the best athletes in the country. You name an offer, he has it. But he come through the program. And people seen because Timo been on this camera, people seen Timo from being 155, 160 to where he's at now. And say that his junior year, he probably about 190. So that tells you kind of his development throughout the program. And there's other ones, man. I could name Ahmad Desir to start X for us. He's a 27 class.
Pratt.
You got Jakaris Pratt.
Pratt. That's the guy that we put the definition of football player.
Yeah,
Pratt is
yes,
that. Is a football player.
Yeah.
You put him on the field somewhere.
Right.
He gonna, what I'm saying? He gonna do whatever it is you need to do.
And came into the program, man, and have done everything right, man. Have done everything right and have led the right way.
Right. That's a leader too.
Right. Have led the right way. And so, a lot of those guys in that 27 class, man. Makai Miller. Makai Miller is another one in that 27 class that you're going to see a lot and know a lot from. Clyde Ward. Clyde Ward, probably one of the top athletes again in our county. When I say athletes, I'm talking about linebacker and running back. Put his tape on. These kids knocking helmets off, running through people. Probably one of the top 5 backs in our county. Probably one of the better linebackers in our county.
Yeah.
So Clyde Ward, another kid in that 27 class. And I can't speak enough about Julian and what Julian have done this year. Again, Julian came from being a JV quarterback in another program, coming over. I think Julian close to about 1,800 yards passing. Came in. It's a tough offense that they had to come in to learn with the run and shoot stuff. But Julian came in, man, and did the right thing and led the right way as a 27. So that class, we're very, very excited for that class. Like we are very, very excited for the 20 and 29 class. But that group, man, that 27 group, man, that's coming back, I think we bring back, that's majority of our entire team.
27,
yeah. It's 27.
That 27 class is, it is loaded. Like I say, Clyde is another guy that you say football player. That's a football player. He played DN, linebacker, running back. Like, he gonna sack one player and then gonna run a touchdown.
I think in late work, he had an interception. He had a sack. He ran for a touchdown. He just did everything.
Clyde did everything.
Yeah,
man.
so it's a bunch of them in that group, man. It's a bunch of, like I said again, man, you put the tape on, man, it's some kids that's showing up, man. But they come through the program, man. They come through the program. So
yeah, man, that's one thing I definitely can speak on. Clyde, you took Clyde and Pratt, man, those guys are waiting guys too, man. They don't, they don't, what I'm saying, take no time out. They get in there and go get it in the weight room, you know what I'm saying? So those that's another reason why they're so, why their tape looks like you know what I mean? Because they're in the weight room. They believe in that,
Explosive, very explosive.
And then, of course, you got to talk about Rory Butler and Jaden, man. Those 26 guys, man, you like, hey, you wish guys could have another year. Man.
He had another year. And I think the biggest thing, man, so a lot of times, as coaches, you know what I mean? You kind of, when you coming through a program and you putting your program in place, you kind of a little nervous about kids transferring into your program because you don't want the bad habits of another program coming to your program. You kind of get a little nervous about that. with Jaden and Rory, man, they came in, and you talking about good kids, good young men, and Rory Butler, man, Rory. I mean, just again, man, Rory fits everything we talk about when you talking about athlete. I mean, Rory Butler, probably he is our best corner, our best. We got Timo, and I can say our best safety. Rory just, I mean, one of our best receivers, and we got Ryan. So it's like Rory kind of fit the box of everything, man, and I'm so proud of what he have done this year here at Palm Beach Lakes. He got an opportunity to go play at Missouri State as early as a freshman. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're losing maybe 8 or 9 DBs or something like that.
Dang.
So Rory got an opportunity to come in and play right away, and I think he will. Rory just he's everything you want to see in the round, man, and I'm so proud of that kid. I think he's finna go on his visit, and about a week or two from now, he will be signing in December at Missouri State. He committed there now, but I'm proud of that young man, and the work. Rory keep his head down and just keep at it, man. He keep chopping wood. Everything is about football. You know what I mean? Rory, you see him in school, it's about football. He tests you at night, it's about football. Everything is about football, man. And I love the kid to death, man. And like I said, I wish I had him, multiple years. I only got him this year. But I look forward to his future, man, and what Rory do at the next level. We definitely, man, as a program, we proud of who Rory Butler is.
For sure.
Jaden, man, the boat, man, Jaden. Elite speed, hands, man, a good kid. Another one that I'm looking forward to what he do at the next level. Again, another kid, man, I love to death, man. I wish I had him multiple years. I only got Jaden this year as well. But Jaden came in. Jaden, the second leading receiver on our team. But Jaden's everything, man. And I'm excited what his future gonna be. Whoever take a chance on that kid, man, is getting a steal. Man. You talking about a fast, explosive kid, man.
Right.
Can play, can beat you in the return game. A very, very dynamic slot. But again, another kid we wish we had multiple years, man. But we only got him this year.
Yeah, man. Now Jaden, man, he's that kind of kid he has elite receiver ability, but when the ball in his hands, he turns to a running back.
Yeah, you gotta tackle him, man.
You gotta tackle him. You better be ready because he's gonna bring it too.
Yeah, Jaden tough, man.
That kid is definitely gonna he got a bright future as well.
That receiver core, man. It just we up there, man. When you talking about one of the best receiving cores, man, we up there. And Jaden's very, very. Jaden is a big piece to that. Very big piece of that.
Yeah, man. I want to make a PSA. This is Coach C saying this. You know what I'm saying? I know Coach Timo's on the camera, but Coach C is the one who's saying this, man. If you a Lakes alumni, bring your kids to the school, man. Because ain't no reason Jay shouldn't have been here year one. You know what I'm saying? Jay people went here. Again, this is Coach C saying this. If you a Lakes alumni, man, bring your kids and who play football, bring your kids to this.
But I would say to defend most of those people like that, that has kids and other programs that's around, man, through and through. I know the period of time that the program went through and why you wouldn't decide to put them at Palm Beach Lakes. You know what I mean? Based on the situation that it was before. Whichever year that was, or whatever they made the decision to decide to not do it or whatever. But I kind of get it. You know what I mean? I kind of get it. But I do feel like, if you're around, like any other program, you know what I mean? I feel like if you're around, your kids should play at Lakes. I think if you're a Raider, kids should play down there, in Begley or a Charger, whatever. But I do think, a lot of Rams alumni, parents, have their kids in other programs. And when we came in, we tried to come in and eliminate any excuse. So we came in and say, no, we got a good strength and conditioning program. We came in, we're going to give your kids exposure, whether it's social media, whether it's in front of scouts or whatever it may be. Your kid can go D1 from Palm Beach Lakes. Your kid can play D2 at Palm Beach Lakes. Your kid can come here and get in the law academy. You can come here and get into the fire academy. You can come here and do whatever they want to do, man. And I just think that we try to come in and provide that. We feed them, 3-4 times out the week. You know what I mean? So you got a nutrition plan here. We try to do everything to try to upgrade the equipment. upgrade the jerseys. We travel, try to go to the schools and in the summertime for they can see it. So you have no excuse of why your child should be playing somewhere else. We upgrade the staff. We got guys that played in college football, Division I, and D2, and everything else. So we try to put everything in place so you have you don't have to take them and put them somewhere because you feel like Lace is lacking something. So but I get it initially, but we are putting things in place that you don't have to do that.
Yeah, man. Bring kids to Lake, man. But yeah, so as the season closes, man, again, we sitting here in this limbo, man, and we may make the playoffs, may not. We really ain't gonna know till Thursday. So again, this will be posted on Wednesday. We'll know the following day after that. Yeah. So where we sitting at? We're sitting at number 9 in our region, right behind another team that we feel like our resume is better than. You know what I'm saying? Like, speak to that for as far as how is our status in the playoffs. So how you think is
So it's kind of tough when you don't know the landscape of other counties and stuff like that. Like I don't know like what is what. I just kind of know in our area, right? And probably a little bit of Port St. Lucie and Broward and Dade a little bit, but you don't know like Orlando, you don't know Jacksonville, you don't know that kind of stuff. And a lot of times you gotta almost compare yourself to all the other programs and stuff like that based on because everything is computer based. Mm-hmm. So right now we are in limbo right now. So we are in wait and see mode. It's kind of tricky with the numbers and the ranking because you don't know if that ranking is accurate or whatever it may be because they saying they're coming out Thursday, it was coming out Tuesday. We only control what we can control. We have never lost 2 games in a row. If we lost a game, we came back and won a game. You know what I mean? Or we just won 2 in a row, whatever it may be. The team that's in front of us, as we've been watching the entire time because we've been placing that same seed. So we was 9, that team was 8. And at one point we was 8, that team was like 2 or we was 7, they was 2 or whatever. So we've been watching that team throughout the entire time. You know what I mean? I don't care what coach, say that they ain't doing it, they do it. We all do it, we watch, we're trying to see, kind of map ourselves out. But that team has lost the last 4. You know what I mean? They had lost the last 4. They lost the last game, they just played. I know it's not a point margin that they take in consideration. Right. But they lost the last game about 40 something. You know what I mean? And that's their 4th game they lost in a row. We finished out with a win. We both have the same record with 6-4, but that team's on a 4-game losing streak, and we are not. But that team was ranked 8, and we was at 9. We don't know if they're gonna flip us. That we go into that we get into number 8 and that team go 9 or whatever like that, or we don't know if we go into the F.I.T side or anything like that. So right now we are in wait and see. I'm just making an argument for my program because I feel like we did enough to get into the traditional playoff, not the F.I.T. I definitely feel we should be in the F.I.T. at least, but I think we did enough with our resume. If you look at our resume, the 3 games that we did lose, we lost to a very good 6-4 Palm Beach Central team, probably one of the best 6-4 teams you'll see in the state. Right. We lost to an undefeated Jupiter that's probably ranked number 2 and 7. They are at least top 5 and 7.
Something like that, yeah.
And we lost to 9-1 Glade Central. That's probably somewhere 2 and 4, 8-5. What are they? 4, 5, 8, whatever.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And they probably ranked number 2 or something like that, or in their class. And those are 3 losses that we had, 3 major losses. And then the one that I told you that was slipped away from was Winter Haven. They finished the season at 6-4. I think they let the last one drop. They could have finished 7-3. They let the last one drop to Arbondale, but they finished the season 6-4. So we have not lost to a team that's under 500. Compared to the resume on the other side, they have lost to a team that's under 5. They lost to a team that won 2 or 3 games. Right. That don't show up on our schedule. So that's our argument that we have to get into the traditional side of the playoff. F.I.T. I just think just based on our resume, we should have been in F.I.T. So. But right now, it's kind of a tough spot that we are in because who you preparing for, who you practicing for, and our kids never had a bye. So our week 1 was our bye, you know what I mean? And by our week 1 being our bye, we didn't take the week 1 as a bye. We just practiced all the way through because we so early in the season. So our kids never got time off. We went 10 straight games all the way through. And fortunately, we were injury free for the most part doing that. So this is the first time the kids had a break. So we gave them Tuesday, which is today, and we give them we're gonna get them Wednesday off, and we're gonna come back Thursday. And we're coming back Thursday with hopefully that we have a team that we're preparing for Thursday, which we won't have too much game planning because we'll just be knowing Thursday who we playing. But we'll come out and we'll try to get out and break a sweat and throw the ball around a little bit.
Yeah, man. With this with this playoff system, I mean, again, I guess it is computer based, but then I guess there is a human element to it that I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? So if there is a human element, like we said this off camera, there's a human element. Ain't no reason why we shouldn't be in there. Why we shouldn't be able to jump to that A spot. I said they that team over there they lost to a 2-6 team. You know what I'm saying? Like, or 2-7 team at the time or whatever. Yeah. I think that same team finished 3-7, but the team that they lost to got beat 42-0 the next week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They lost to them. But, it is what it is. We can only control what we control. But, also they talking about these classifications and changing like that and these new ideas and everything like that. So, I had it's not new idea, but I had an idea is that I guess they brought up something like a district play tournament, in season tournament.
I think they threw it out.
They didn't do it, but they brought that idea up. I was like, well, if they're going to do an actual play-in tournament, you know what I'm saying? You could have, like during this week right here.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like they're doing basketball.
Like they're doing basketball. Like NBA do. They got a play-in tournament.
Yeah.
Listen, we should have a play-in tournament. 8, 9, and 10, or you know what I'm saying?
To decide the last.
Yeah. Or 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could decide it like that. I think 7, 8, something 9. Like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because I think, whether it is right or wrong take or controversial take, the F.I.T. thing, which we'll kind of talk about in a second, but that is from my vantage point, this Coach T speaking, seemed like to be a money grab for the state. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if they want a real money grab, you do a play-in tournament.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You pick the venue, whatever we play, everybody play at whoever number 7 is or whatever it is. Yeah. Like that, your state gets the gate.
Like a January 2 quarters.
Like a January 2 quarters. You got to play in, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I think that could be popular.
Yeah.
I think it'll be beneficial, you know what I'm saying? And, I think that kind of will give those teams who are sitting on the outside where we at 9, something to game plan for. You know what I'm saying? And okay, listen, especially if all teams are 6-4.
Cause that makes sense because like I said earlier that it's kind of hard to judge because you don't know the landscape in Orlando or that part of Orlando. You don't really, I think it's like a semi-area.
It's really like west Clearmont, so west of Orlando.
Something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know that area like I know Jones up there,
right? Jones,
stuff like that, but I don't be knowing like St. Clouds and stuff. I don't know like those kind of teams. So it's kind of hard to judge like who they lose to, who they win to. Like doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But you can look at us and you can look and see and say, okay, well they lost to the number 2 seed in our region, which is Jupiter, and they lost to the number 5 seed in our region, which is Palm Beach Central, right? So you can see those two. And for them, I think you look at what Dr. Phillips that they lost to, and they lost to another team,
Olympia, which was number 11 or something like that.
Something like that, right? You know what I mean?
So, and they lost to,
which would be very similar to us losing to like a Wellington or something like that.
If we lost to Wellington, that's what that would have been.
Right, something like that.
Or probably even less than Wellington.
Right, right. So I think that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, that's the only way we can judge it. But I like that idea of saying, okay, well, because you talking about 2 different counties, let's bring 7, 8, and 9 up here and let's do a play-in tournament for 7, 8, and 9. You know what I mean? 7 because you 7 seed. You don't have to play first. You get the first bye. So 8 and 9 play, and then winner 8 and 9 play 7. And y'all, I like that. And then the last 2 go 7 and 8.
The last 2 go 7 and 8. You know what I'm saying? That. I think that'd be the perfect idea. You know what I'm saying? That's.
But that made too much sense for the state. The state gonna do what they want, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
The FHSAA. This is an idea that you can take. And use, you know what I'm saying?
That'd have been good, man. That'd have been good.
Especially if all of them are like we 6-4, they 6-4, then I think Lake Nona will be 7-3, I believe. You know what I'm saying? So that's literally the perfect thing to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll go up there. Those are 2 Orlando teams. We'll go up there, you know what I'm saying? Go showcase our talent.
Because the 7 you'll get the home because you're 7.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We all go Lake Nona.
Yeah.
Like, right. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
We should be playing on Friday. Right now we should be going up there. You know
that makes sense.
I like that. Something for them to do.
I like
What's your thoughts on the F.I.T.? Or what is for I guess people who don't know, what is the FIT?
So FIT is taking the next group. So you got the 1 through 8 that gets into the traditional playoff side, and then they take the next 16 or 8 or something like that. The next best, the highest rank, and then they go into the FIT and you play in the invitational playoff bracket. I think it's good to get extra games. I think it's good for that. I kind of have an idea of why. I mean, besides you get extra money, but besides that, I think also I think the state take money off even the playoff. So I think another good thing about that, what the state trying to do is try to avoid teams from going independent.
Right.
Because if you get teams that you didn't make this traditional, but you make the invitational, and I don't want to sound negative in this, but the independent league that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm not knocking that, but obviously, every independent coach want to be playing in the state series.
Right.
They want, to a man, they'll say that. Now, obviously, you're going to say this to your players or you're going to say this to your community or your school, but, you want to be playing, because we all come up want to play for a state championship, not an independent state championship. You know what I'm saying? So I think end of the day, I think the state trying to avoid more teams going independent. Because I don't know how many public schools you have doing it. I know you have some privates that's not the same private as Chaminade or Card Newman or other privates. I think the private schools is kind of below that, going independent, to avoid running to those kind of teams, and to kind of bring up their program. But I think a man to a man, every private school or every public school want to play in the real deal. You know what I mean? Not the independent league. So I think the state trying to rival that situation and say, let me create an invitational, which is the same type of, in their mind, probably a better football that's going to be independent.
Right.
So let's play invitational and you guys will have that. So you don't have to run and go independent because you can never beat the top three top 3 teams in your district or something like that. So, just go over here and play in the invitational. I think some programs that'll benefit. I think even with us, this year it'll benefit our kids if we missed that one. That got into that because we so close at getting into the other that we can go into there and find some meaningful games in that situation. But I really think that's what the state trying to do is like, okay, most teams, if you don't make that, you go year after year, you're not making traditional playoffs. Right. Man, let's just go independent. You know what I mean? Let's go independent. Right. Let's go win that for a few years and then jump right back into the state. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, being real with you, you know what I mean? When you're building programs, you're not building programs with a mindset of going independent. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't come in here and say, man, let's go independent for 2 or 3 years, right? And then go into we thinking like, no, get us now because we're gonna build a program that we can really compete in the traditional playoffs, not independent. We don't want to put our kids, and he be thinking like that, like going independent and playing in that. And not saying there's not decent teams in independent and stuff like that, but we know the real. You know what I'm saying? Like we know the independent ain't gonna take a lot of us. Like we just talked about all these 28s and 27, 29. We can't even petition or sign an application to go independent because teams gonna say, no, hold on, how they go independent? You got a 4-star kid here, you got that kid, receiver guy out from Syracuse, the quarterback there. No, they can't go independent. We don't want to play against them or whatever. So we understand how that works, and I think the state trying to rival that with the FIT.
Yeah, I mean, because I say that like Jupiter Christian shouldn't be independent. Y'all need to be over here. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you got the kid, the quarterback.
I think it's time to Bass going.
Yeah, Bass, come on back, bro. Come on, y'all got enough talent over there.
I think he need to come on back.
You need to come on back.
I'm telling them they're sleeping, and I know him like a big brother, Coach King. You need to come on back, man.
I didn't even know they was independent.
Yeah, he independent. He over there at American Heritage.
American Heritage,
man. Come on back, man. You gotta get out of there. Get out of there, King. King, Bass. Y'all get up out of there, man. Come on back, man. Cause they starting to load it up at those schools.
Right. Man. Both of those schools got enough talent.
Yeah.
They should be competing in their class.
Bass got Miss Wonder's son that work here. He over there quarterback for him. I mean, he
alone is enough.
He's bigger than the linebackers that he's playing against. I mean, my God, I look at Dorian play out there. on a little tape. I'm like, man, Dorian looking like a linebacker, running over them people. You know what I mean? So, and King got some kids too, man, that I think they, you know, need to come on back in the state.
Yeah, man. That you know, I agree that that's probably what it is. You know, you're trying to avoid more and more teams going to independent.
Right. Because real, to be honest with you, like, you know, like Jimbo at St. Andrews, you know what I'm saying? Like Jimbo, you know, easily, I would say probably about the year before, hold on 1 second. I would say Jimbo, the year before, probably a year or two before I went over there, was coaching with him. He probably could have went. I don't know if he did go independent, but I think he probably could have went independent, or he was kind of playing around with it, or he thought about it. But I mean, look at him now. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
definitely shouldn't be doing
like you know, if Jimbo independent, they'll kick him out.
Right,
you know
what
I mean?
Right.
I mean, Jimbo is loaded, man. Jimbo got a kid that's committed to Notre Dame, got another kid committed to Boston College. I mean, he got a tight end, I think, committed to a Division I school. I mean, he before that, he had Teddy Hoffman, who was at NC State, tearing it up. You know what I mean?
Crazy
so,
over there.
Jacob Case, all them kids. So Jackson Park, the year after that. Bill Young, around that time. I mean, he got some kids, man, and so he could have easily went into the easier route. But if you look at what Jimbo got down the pipe, you know what I mean? Jimbo got,
definitely.
I want to say Miami Edison in that district. I want to say, you know, Chaminade in that district, Carr Newman in that district, and I think Archbishop McCarthy in that district. So he got, you know what I mean? So he ain't running from it. You know what I mean? He ain't running from it. You know, Jimbo stepped it up. You know, I can say the same thing with Gonzo at Somerset. You know, he could easily,
he could easily
leaving his program, let me just go independent. You know what I mean? But Gonzo stepped it up and say, "No, we ain't going independent. We gonna get what we need to get."
Yeah, man. Now that they Somerset, especially after the last 2 years, they just got hit.
Oh my God!
Last year alone was like 11 starters.
I have never seen a program. I mean, I've been coaching a long time, Coach. I can't remember one get hit like that.
Right.
Like multiple years, man. Like, come on, man. I, you know, one time I was thinking, like, man, how many kids Gonzo got on his team? Because you get like 20 of them. I mean, and Gonzo still filling a team of 50 or 40. And you like, he lose like 25. You know what I mean? Like, we lose 25 here. We got 20 guys on the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Gonzo lose 25. Like, he filling a whole nother team. And I'm like, man, how many students in that school? But definitely, like, he could have ran, you know, and jumped in independent, man, after going through what he went through. So, you know, and he won district this year.
Right.
Look at that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
you know, I mean, like, you know, in from what I know of him, you know what I mean, solid dude, solid coach, man. You know, seen him run a good program over there. But to lose, because I want to say he lost 12 starters or something like that.
I just think he's in a tough spot, man. You gotta think about it, man. See,
kids treated like a JUCO, like
because they can play as 8th graders, right? Or 7th graders.
Yeah, he plays 8th graders.
So they treat like a JUCO. They go there early and play, and then they leave and go to other schools. And another reason why I say a tough spot, because I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming that a lot of his guys are from like Delray and Boynton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're in that area, you got a lot of players from Delray and Boynton, you're going to be battling Atlantic all the time.
All the time.
You know what I mean? And then like West Boca is into Delray now. You know what I mean? You're battling that. And, you know, you got to battle head with them at St. Lucis for those kind of kids and stuff like that. So I just think like he's just in a tough spot. And then now you just push in Coach Hannah and them at Park Vista. So you got to split that again. You know what I mean? So then you got to look down the road at Garcia now where they building the ball. They
building the program.
So you know what I mean? So I just think he's in a tough spot. That he just got a battle like that. And it seems like his kids are more quicker to leave than the other programs we just mentioned.
Yeah, because like you said, because it's a private school, there's not really that foundation of team pride there. Like when your mom went there, your cousin went there, your brother went there. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But at St. Lucia, they got that area over there, and this where the area is. It's not really like a whole lot of housing developments over there that's gonna produce them kind of kids. You know what I'm saying? That you want. You know, I'm trying to say what I say, but you know what I'm saying? It's gonna produce them kind of kids. So
in that area,
you know, that's just it's real tough for him to.
Yeah, and just alone when you pushing teams into that. You know what I'm saying? I know I said West Boca, but you could throw St. Andrews in there too. I mean, kids gonna go there too. So I just think like he's just in a tough spot right there. And then like you say, then Kingdom building the monster heritage again. So you gotta battle them down in that Delray spot. I mean that little area. Yeah,
no, they got it's a nice little cluster of teams competing over there. You know what I mean?
In Spanish, we ain't mentioned Spanish River.
Oh yeah, Spanish River. They
starting to kind of
last couple of years they've been just building. Now, even with the loss of their coach last year, who went up to Georgia, this year they had another solid year. I think they're like number 3 in the region or something like that.
Correct.
Something like that.
So you got a lot of them in that area. It seems like right now it's like, the Somersets and Boca kind of, in a position of trying to climb up out that hole, with the other program. I think the other programs are like from an attraction standpoint with kids. Those other programs, I mean, and we have to speak about what West Boca is right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, even a school that's in a similar situation as Somerset is like Olympic Heights. They got too much. Yeah, they got too much around. Yeah, and I want to say they had a solid little year this year for.
They did. They independent.
Yeah.
See, they independent. Yeah, they jumped in independent. Oh man. Yeah, they jumped in independent. Yeah, and I didn't know that until I seen them play Osbridge.
Oh, okay.
They play Osprey not too long ago because when they play Osprey, I said, and then I started thinking. I looked on the Mass Prep and they had went into freelance. They went
I didn't even know they was independent.
Yeah. But that's probably smart for them though.
Because he had a solid year.
Why John Lennon go independent? If Olympic Heights can go independent, why John Lennon go independent?
Speaking of that, right? So I think yesterday we was kind of talking about the classes, and we was talking about. I think you said have AI. Put in the creating classification, right? 7A, 6A, 5A, and everything like that. You could have the help of AI do it, right? Is that you have them put in the last 5 years of the team's success, put it in a database, and that's how you create classes.
Correct.
So if you want real competition, that's how you create classes. And that's another way to kill but take away from the independent.
Correct.
Because I'm not really playing independent. I'm playing teams
just like me.
Like me, you know what I'm saying? But like a John I. I mean, if they're in an impossible place. John I is in a possible location where you just can't get kids to go there. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have some kind of miracle transfer to come over there to even start the other transfers to come over there to get that program going.
Right.
That is a team who should be independent.
Right.
You know what I mean? They just
and this is what I said to that is that the state's still taking an old model of school population. And they say, okay, school population. And we'll put all these schools there with this population in this district, right? And long time ago, you probably could have done that. You could look at a team, you could look at a school, and you may have 2,500 kids or 3,000 kids, whatever it may be, and say, okay, just based on the numbers, you would be able to compete with those kind of teams, right? Okay, my 2,500 is not like your 2,500. Your 2,500 might be good in baseball or soccer. My 2,500 is good in football and basketball and track. You see what I'm saying? And so now this is my population, that's your population. And so, but you are in the same district as me, right? Yeah, you might beat me in baseball, but I'm beat you in these other sports. And so I think we got to get away with that and like you say, we got the technology now, let AI do it. Just say, okay, let's take the last 5 years. Or 3 years, whatever you want to take, and put that into the AI database, or whatever, and you formulate the districts of football just like that, right? Let them formulate that of the last 3 to 5 years. It's just like why is John I playing 7A football? Right. You see what I'm saying? They literally should be playing 1A ball or something like that, based on the year, because you're not going to grow a program. Like I said, we didn't play John I, but we're just looking at the scores. Yeah, we get the tape, right? And we get the tape, and we playing teams that played them, and we can't even watch that film. We're like, oh, we got to get another. You can't watch the film. You can't watch the last game. Right. You know what I mean? So I just think like schools. I'm not just want to throw John out, but I'm just saying schools like that. It's like if Olympic Heights can go independent, John I shouldn't be able to go independent this year. You know what I'm saying? Take them out of what they was playing in and go independent. Heather was running. Had his team running gases
in the halftime.
At halftime. Because he felt like they was up 50 to nothing.
Right, felt like they weren't
and he felt like they weren't up big enough.
Right.
50 to nothing against another 7A program. Right. You feel like you're not up big enough, so let's run gases at halftime. And you're in just another 7A program. You know what I mean? So it was like, man, that was like, I remember seeing this, I'm scrolling down, like, I know he got these guys running. You know what I mean? Even if I felt that way, you know what I mean? Like, can't do it.
And they doing it on their field.
On their field. So instead of talking to the kids about adjustments or letting them get water, whatever what most teams do, he got them running gases. And I don't know how many they did, but he got them running gases at halftime. And it's nothing to say to that. My point of saying that was that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, John I shouldn't have been playing 7A football. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who our area ADs are or whoever, they say, you know what? put this team in independent right now, right? Let's take them out. Let's put another team, whether we got to put a 6A team up to 7 or whatever it may be, but let's put another team in that, or we'll take a team out, but don't have them playing against those type of programs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make. I want to say that I looked at the scores, man. It was like what game they had a chance to win this year.
No.
You know what I mean? You can't grow. You know, and we talking about mental health of kids and stuff like that. Let's be real, man. Like,
I mean,
that ain't doing anything.
I mean, you brought up that mental health of the kid, mental health of the coaches. I mean, you know, I mean, to I don't want to say all the scores or whatever, just to get beat like that.
Yeah.
10 weeks straight,
and you got to keep coming back.
You got no success. You got with no success, and then you're trying to get these players to stay motivated.
Right.
Get them to show up to practice.
Right.
Get them to show up to the weight room.
Right.
When they're like, man, coach.
And you still hearing. I'm sure you still hearing this community over there in Lake Worth area.
Yeah.
Coach, you can't do this. Coach,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Coach, y'all do this, or y'all ain't doing that right, and so you getting all of that, and you go out and again. I mean, just getting the drumming put on you. And like I said, like that team should have went independent this year. If Olympia High was able to go independent, John Lennon should have been able to go independent.
Yeah, because losses in general just put a disdain on your program for the week. You know, you got the parents in the stands, or you don't know how to do this, or you don't know how to do that.
And before we got here, you know, we looked at the scores of Palm Beach Lake, and what John Lennon is right now, and what Lakes was that year. You know what I'm saying?
That mean 22?
Yeah. What's
this, 25?
Would it be 22?
20, yeah, so 22.
22. It had to be 20.
Yeah, because our first year was 23.
Yeah, all the 8-0, 7-8, and all that stuff. So that was the pro.
It was worse than John now, really.
Right. It was about probably worse than John. Yeah. I don't think teams was running at halftime, but I do say that what the program was. You know what I'm saying? So we knew when we took it over, we were like, oh, here we go. Right. Like, we knew like, well, it's gonna take some work, man. You know, it takes some work. So that show you. But we came in. We weren't thinking independent now. We came in like, no, we gonna
win some games.
Yeah, exactly. We coming in out of the.
We went 4-6 that first year. We were disappointed. Like,
one game slid away from. You know what I mean? So
playoff
could have been 5-5 that year.
Yeah. So
we definitely understand like where that program is at, but I do look back and I say that's one of the programs I will say, like, you know, if Olympia Heights was able to do it, you should have allowed. And I don't know if they petitioned to do it and it was said no, whatever, but they should have allowed them to go in and do that and let him build his program up.
I mean, because if you take the AI idea and you take that and do it like that, then you have in St. Thomas, Miami Central, Chaminade, Miami Northwestern,
Newman, West
Boca, all of them is in the same classification.
Palm Beach Central,
all of them in the same classification. Not just like 4 and 5. No, they in the same classification. They're all 7-8 or 8-8, whatever they, you know what I'm saying, whatever they all that.
Yeah.
And they got to go through each other to get to a state.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And then you had a next tier team. You know, New Orleans. And
Tier 2s.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You could throw Atlantic in with either tier you want to put them in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then that's that group. And you got Tier 3, right? You keep going.
And you keep going down. So when you get the Boones and Jones will be up there, but you know what I'm saying? You get the Boones and us and Winter Park and, you know what I'm saying? Lake Nona, Winter Haven, those kind of, you know what I mean? That's where Garcia, we would
possibly Royal Palm.
Come on, we would all be in that tier of classes. So that way, and you do it by, you know what I'm saying, 3 or 4 year period. So, you know, in 4 years, if your team
people do it now. You see different ones with they podcasts. They don't, a lot of them moving away from the top 10 because it's kind of hard to judge that.
Exactly.
So a lot of them moving to tiers. Tier 1 program is this. A Tier 2 program is this. A Tier 3 program is this. Because it makes more sense. You're able to decipher it a little bit more better by putting them in tiers instead of trying to say, let me put a top 10 out here, because it's kind of hard, because it's like, okay, I got them at number 1, but number 2 actually beat 1, but 2 just lost to 3. You know what I'm saying? So but instead of doing it that way, just say, okay, 1, 2, and 3 is Tier 1. You know what I'm saying? 4, 5, and 6 maybe Tier 2. You know what I mean? 7, 8, 9 is Tier 3, and you go, you know, so on and so forth. So I do think it's better to do it that way, to break it down in tiers and to put teams in tiers. So, okay, this Tier 1 you all play, Tier 2 you all play, Tier 3 you all play, Tier 4, instead of just saying district. Because even with the new way they're doing districts, you're still gonna have a disadvantage, because you're saying you're taking a class out. By taking a class out, so you're gonna take everything from 2,300 or up, or I'm sorry, 23 to 2,200. They all playing 7A football. But you know who's gonna fall into that category? John Leonard.
Right.
It's going to fall. Right. They have a big population of, so they're going to fall into that category. They got to play 6A football with everybody else again. You see what I'm saying? Instead of putting them in a tier they probably can play in. You know what I mean? I know we keep saying John Leonard, but that's kind of the example we have in front of us.
Yeah.
That team has to play in that tier. I'm going to tell you another one. Suncoast.
Yeah.
Suncoast has to play in a tier or in a district that has people like Dillard. Dillard is a district.
Dillard's in their district?
Yeah, Dillard is in their district. So you play in Dillard every single year.
Come on, man.
When you know Dillard population and Suncoast population is completely different. Now, the Suncoast 20 years ago, they should have, played Dillard.
Right.
But the Suncoast population now, and you talking about Dillard High School, it should know, again, if AI takes that and say, okay, we're not going to put Suncoast in there with Dillard. And I think Hollandale was in there at one point with them and all them kind of schools. No, put them somewhere like John Leonard.
Yeah.
Suncoast.
Let all them compete.
Olympic Heights. Right. So those schools compete in that tier. And I think that'd be more you get more of a true state champion doing it that way.
You will get true state championship. You got all the St. Thomas's and all them in the tier and so on and so forth.
Because this new way ain't this new way is like old school.
Yeah, it is.
That's how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? It used to be not many classes and you used to have a load up district. You only had probably like 4 non-con games. You had like 6 districts, you know what I'm saying? District games. So this finna be tough.
Now they finna go to, they talking about between 5 and 7 teams in one district.
It's finna be tough.
You know what I'm saying? So now you got to compete for real in your district to even get the district championship.
But it's finna be, I see, but I didn't know until you read this on timeline of schools, different coaches complaining and stuff like that of it. But I didn't know what it was until I seen what it was doing. I said, oh yeah, I see why they're complaining. This finna be tough. This finna be very, very tough because, man, you have to play, man.
Yeah.
You have to play. This is going to be everything from 22 and up or 23 and up is 6A. Man, that's majority of the schools.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is going to be crazy, man. Like, this is going to be crazy.
Our district next year, like say, is, Gardens, which we want to play. I mean, we want to play Gardens anyway. Gardens probably going to win our district. Maybe Royal Palm,
all in district, Palm Central,
Jupiter, all that.
Paula Dwyer, all us in the same district.
Yeah, I mean, in tiers is definitely like you just said, is the best way to go. I mean, I don't want to, whatever. Again, this coach, she talking, whatever. But like when you're ranking top 10 teams, right? So they, you see it every week for the county, ranking top 10 teams, and they keep up until maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. I felt like it was just a complete disrespect to Glade Central out there. They kept having them 4 and 5 and 6, and I'm like. I get it, but having them in tiers, it would be different. You're not saying they're better; they're just saying they're on this tier.
Yeah, you know what? Like Jupiter is very, very tricky. They are tricky because I do think they are one of the top programs in our county. I do think that now because I think about their consistency, what puts them there.
Yeah.
But they don't schedule crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't schedule crazy like that. But I do think when you actually play them. And how consistent they is, and not just that. I'm talking about like you have to play Jupiter in every phase of the game.
Right.
When we go play certain teams, they got more talent. Just say, we play Glade Central, we play Palm Beach Central, we play John Carroll, we play all those teams like that who got a ton of talent. But when we scouting and we game planning, we only scouting and game planning for the most part for 2 phases of the game, offense and defense. Special teams is very, very standard.
Right.
So it's like we just kind of coaching up on different techniques or who we picking up, whether you got a 6-4 on the kickoff or whether you got a 5-5 on kickoff. We telling them, no, you got R1 this week, you got R2, whatever. But with Jupiter, you have to play them in every phase. Okay, listen, after a quick score, they're going to do onside.
They're going
to onside the ball. So we got to make sure that we're ready for that.
Make sure they get the kick.
A touchdown with 4 seconds, 3 minutes left in the second, they're going to swing your Gators, right? They're going to try to get an extra 2 there. You know what I mean? So it's so many things you got to kind of prepare for with them, and they're very consistent at that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
they're one of the better coach teams in the county. Like their coach staff and their head coach, that guy is.
Yes. And their staff is elite. They're going to pick up every hole possible, man. So when we look at film, we play Jupiter. We scout ourselves first. Okay, what hole they finna see?
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? What hole they finna look at on special teams? It's not gonna be defensive offense. What hole they gonna find on special teams? They're gonna try to take advantage of. And we gotta try to close that hole up this week. But I do think they are one of the top programs in our county. But I think when we actually play teams in our county that's that's along that line, we do say like, all right, well, how are we gonna stop 5 at GC this week? I mean, how we gonna start the inside zone, man? Because one will pull it. Like we get him on the edge. He athletic. I mean, they got number 8 on the edge, man. And sometimes he spills, sometimes he boxing it. Like we got to figure that part of it out. Like we don't look at Jupiter like that along that line of like individual players, but as a collective team, we do look at them like that. So I do think when you look at the rankings of how they rank certain things, because you just scroll through and like, all right, who the top 10 they pick this week?
Like even this week, I forgot what New Era. Whenever put out a list, and then you got, I guess they were talking about they had I want to say they had West Boca still number 1.
Okay.
All Newman people was like, hold on, wait a minute. We beat them. You got us number 2, but we beat them.
But Newman lost to somebody last week.
They lost to Buchholz. And then West Boca beat Atlantic,
who was number 1 probably.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, well, wait a minute, hold on. Number 2 did play number 1.
That's why tiers make more sense.
The tiers are better. Just for that reason. You don't really,
because Atlantic and Newman don't play each other, so you really don't know.
You don't know who's the best team. You know what I'm saying? And because even the West Boca Newman game, I mean, it went to overtime. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they just beat them. It went to overtime and
with some questions.
With some questions, right? You know what I'm saying? Yes, I want to. With some.
You get that ball to 3 back there, man.
Right. Just get the ball to 3 back there. You know what I'm saying? You gave it to him to tie the game up. You probably give it to him to go ahead and finish it out. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? They do.
But I do when you do the top 10, and this is what I'm saying today. And again, man, like I know a lot of the guys around the county, personally. But I do think you got to rank in the tiers because at times you put in teams that may be independent, right? And you putting them over teams like head to head. Like, come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
how do you know Jupiter Christian is better than Garcia? You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I mean? Right. Like, or Royal Palm. Right, or something like that. So there's an argument with some of those schools like that when you're saying, when you talking about teams like that, like, again, did St. Andrews earn it? Yeah, I do think so. I think St. Andrews earned, based on who Jimbo played. You know what I'm saying? I think Jimbo played enough competition that you could say, okay, he earned that spot to be in there. But if another independent team don't play no public schools at all, you know what I'm saying? I think Jimbo try to, sprinkle in public and private with his situation. But if you get a private school that don't play no public schools at all, I think it's kind of hard to judge is there a top 10 team in this county. You know what I mean? Obviously, Cardinal Newman play, public and private. You know what I mean? Obviously, Atlantic plays everybody. West Boca plays everybody. Glacier plays everybody. Palm Beach Central plays everybody. So you can judge them a lot easier. But teams that don't play everybody, it's kind of hard to judge that because how they is better than that team. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's hard to do top 10s. It's easier to do tiers because of that. You know what I mean? Because I mean. And I know, they ranked Palm Beach Central real low during the middle of the season. They kind of put them back in there towards the end of the season. But, but the Jupiter went ahead and they beat them. You know what I'm saying? They did beat them, So, they got to play each other because of the district and everything like that. Right. So, not saying, again, my point bringing Jupiter up, not saying they weren't top 5.
But Palm Beach can't be behind. We played that Central team. They can't be behind too many teams. I'm telling you.
Right. No, Palm Beach Central team, Palm Beach Central was good. Right? Like they're good. And now they, for whatever reason they lost some games. And maybe some games they shouldn't have lost or whatever. But Palm Beach Central good.
You can argue Gardens. You can argue them.
If Gardens played a different schedule, they would be. You know what I'm saying? They'd be right there. They beat. They beat Royal Palm pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever. Then they just beat Melbourne, right?
Right. Who's like 8-2 up there?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Palm Beach Gardens.
Right.
It's always loaded.
But it's tier because they went to play West Boca and
you're right.
49-0.
Yeah, it was a tier.
So it is that. And then Seminole Ridge actually beat Palm Beach Gardens.
Which is
a bad
crazy.
loss.
Yeah, which is crazy. That's a bad loss.
I think Royal Palm beat Seminole Ridge.
Yeah, beat Seminole Ridge.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to judge it, man.
Yeah, that is
it's very hard to judge it, bro. I'm telling you, man. Like it's tough, man. And matter of fact, Gardens beats St. Lucis.
Gardens beat St. Lucia. That's
St. Lucia beat Palm Beach Central. Seminole Ridge beat St. Lucia. So it's hard to judge it, man. Like those
are some bad losses.
You don't know it from week to week, bro.
Right. It was crazy.
From week to week, bro. You know what I mean?
I forgot about St. Lucia. I forgot St. Lucia lost to them.
I
forgot St. Lucia lost to them, and they had a big old win against Palm Beach Central. It was a good team, and they came. Yeah,
think about Ridge, who beat both Gardens and St. Lucia, but Royal Palm beat them.
Right.
But then Royal Palm loses to Garcia.
And Gardens. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's tough to rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. You gotta put them in tiers,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta put them in tiers. I mean, because St. Lucia's, I mean, obviously not in the top tier, but they fall somewhere under that second. Somewhere. Fall in that second tier. You know what I mean?
Somewhere. The only team that's unblemished is Jupiter.
The only team that's unblemished is Jupiter.
But the only thing about people gonna argue with Jupiter, they're gonna say, "But look what Jupiter played."
Outside of Palm Beach Central, they ain't really.
That's what they're gonna say.
You know what I mean? Really play nobody. You know that's
right.
You know, I wish we could have got. I wish we, definitely thought they them 5. But I don't think they're better than GC, but whatever. But you know, that's now you think you wish you had Carter Newman in Atlantic. Really to go ahead and play.
Got that game.
You know what I'm saying? Like
they could have got that game.
I don't know what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? They got to.
I think it was Atlantic played Carter Newman at Newman, the overtime game, and when they had to fight and all that stuff, right? And Newman wanted Atlantic to come back again the following year. Atlantic wanted Newman to honor the contract to come to Atlantic. And for whatever reason, they couldn't come to an agreement with that. And by not coming to agreement with that, they just kind of went their separate ways. But they could have got that game. That would have been epic as well, because you'd have got the top 3 teams all played each other in the same year, and you're able to judge it how you want to judge it now.
Right.
And because I don't think who was number 4, Jupiter, and Jupiter don't play neither one of those, right? Jupiter have not played. They didn't play.
No Atlantic, no.
They played neither one of them.
No, Jupiter.
West Boca, Atlantic.
No. Their toughest team was at Palm Beach Central.
So they had played nobody, no GC, no Pahokee, none of that. Yeah, so.
But Palm Beach Central, they toughest game in Martin County, I guess, was the next, but they skinned Martin County too.
Yeah. That's a feeling that we got.
Yeah.
So I do think that's the only knock people will have with Jupiter is that. But Jupiter has been consistent the last 2 years with by winning games. But they will argue who they playing. You know what I mean? Based on when you talk about the top 5 programs in our county. You know what I mean? Because they have the same argument also for Glade Central, but Glade Central got to play Muck Bowl every year.
But they got to play.
But they have the same argument for them. They feel like Glade Central had not played nobody in the top 5 like that. They haven't played Jupiter. They haven't played West Boca. They haven't played Atlantic. They haven't played Palm Beach Central. And they haven't played Carter Newman.
I didn't think about that part.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? So the same argument you have for Jupiter, besides Pahokee.
Right.
You know, you got to have the same argument.
Bishop Bro was, you know what I'm saying?
But we just don't know him.
Okay,
right. I'm sure, because you say Bishop Road, then Jupiter will say Martin County.
Hey, okay.
I mean, they will make an argument. That's what I'm saying.
They
will make an argument there. So I just think, it's tough, man. But I think now, with a new change, some people are going to be forced to play.
Some people are going to be forced to play with the new change. Yeah, they're going to have
to be forced.
Because the classes, the population of the schools aren't that different.
Because West Boca probably got to go up now.
They definitely got to go. Yeah.
They got to play 6. They can't, you know what I mean?
They used to be like that anyway.
7, 8 anyway.
Yeah,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
So they got to play 6. So
they got to play 6. They just guess they're 6A now. They probably going to stay in the 6A.
But they 6 going to be south. St. Lucie.
Oh, they be in that region,
Spanish River. Yeah. Those down there, you know what I mean?
I mean, now those 2 teams, I think they'll take care of those 2 teams. You know, I mean, they should.
Oh my God!
I mean, just because West Boca, man, what Potts is doing over there, man, is amazing. What he's got going over there.
They got some stuff behind it and all that too.
Yeah. They got we got finances behind it that helps. You know what I'm saying? New fancy weight room they got over there. And they're able to get kids. And you know, too, they're far enough on that close enough to that Broward border. Where you can get the Broward kids, you know what I'm saying?
They get them. I mean, just be real too, though. I mean, Jared's heaven. You know what I mean? Jared's heaven. I mean, you look at some of our top teams in our county, just our county. Dade and Broward, you can take that too, but in our county, look at our top teams and see how many Jared kids on those teams. You talking about 20 plus kids that's in Jared that's on those teams. I mean, this is a real conversation. Like
virtual school.
Just
kids.
Follow it. Yeah. If you follow, and I'm not just saying Jerry, I'm sure whatever school, but if you follow the virtual students, right, and the high number of virtual students that's in a program, and look at our top 5, right? Look at our top 5. I'm sure it's going to be represented probably 3 out of the 5.
Yeah.
Like the high number, I'm talking about like 20-some kids, right? And then the lower you get with that, the lower you go down of that, team, right? And we have, 3 virtual kids? Yeah, we have 3 virtual kids, and we 6 and 4. 20 virtual kids or 30 virtual kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? Think about it. We won't be 64.
Yeah, we won't be 64.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you talking about people with those numbers, you talking about some of our top teams. You know what I mean? So those virtual kids are not standing in those communities.
Not
you see
at
what
all.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you do look at it from that standpoint of people like they say a long time ago, you follow the money, you can follow the disaster or whatever going on. Follow the virtual. Follow the virtual. You'll see. You follow the virtual kids. You'll see kind of our top programs. You know what I'm saying? And we played a couple of them. So, we know like it's tough when you're playing against virtual kids like that, man. It's very tough, man, because the size and the ability and stuff like that. It's tough to match up to when you kind of homegrown for the most part and you playing against virtual. That's tough.
Especially the trenches, man. That's
difference.
The area of football that really makes them break a team.
It's a difference.
You know what I'm saying? Make them break a schedule, make them break just different plays. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you feel like you can match up with them athletically, if you can't match up with the trenches, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You look, oh man, why our 5-star kid didn't do this? Well, because our trenches wasn't able to hold up.
Correct. Up front.
And,
that's where the game is won.
That's where the game is won.
And like I said again, I go back to what I'm saying. Just follow the virtual, man. You follow the virtual, you'll see the success. You'll see the success, and you'll see why those teams are successful when you got that type of talent. And again, they're doing it the legal way because the virtual is legal. So it's not a situation of me saying something that's not legal, but the virtual is a new way. That's really what's happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's really what's happening. There's so many words I can say, but that's what's happening. Like the virtual is where it's at when you're talking about successful programs. You know what I'm saying? Just
Thanks,
being
COVID.
real with you, bro.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, because that's what it is, bro. Like, man, you can go across the county line.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what they're doing.
Virtually, bro. You know what I mean? You don't have to be right here. You don't even know how to get to the stove.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get a virtual kid, man, go down to the stove, man. Y'all come back at 5. What stove cold? Where we going? You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Follow the virtual, man. You follow the virtual, you're gonna have some success, man.
I mean, speaking to that, talking about virtual, really talking about transfers, man. In this landscape of high school, how it is now, I mean, with transfers being such a prevalent thing, such a main part of high school football around, not just around here, but
college
everywhere.
Football, high school football,
everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like when you talking to high school kids, specifically football kids, man, like. Just because we got to deal with it, when is the best time to transfer for a high school kid? What is the right time to transfer for a high school kid? Because I mean, November is upon us. In another month or so, the season is going to be officially over.
Yeah, and
then transfer is going to start kicking in.
If I would say both college and high school, the best time obviously is in January in college because you want to be able to come into that program, and also. Compete for or star spot that spring, right? So most college players, they go into January because I have a nephew now. Not saying he's going to transfer or anything like that, but if he was calling me and I need to have a decision to make this and that, and she'll always to the side. As a matter of fact, I think the college only got one transfer rule.
Right now,
that's what I think the high schools need to do. But
now they do, yeah.
But the college only have one transfer rule, which means that they only can transfer
a certain time, transfer period.
Period, right? Have a period of time.
Yeah.
So I think, but most schools, most high school collegiate players, most collegiate players, you're going to suggest them to do it in January because you come in, you be able to kind of get acclimated with your team and compete for a starting spot in spring football. Obviously, the same thing with high school players. With high school players, I think you really run a risk if you do it in the summer because you have most high school coaches and stuff like that. You kind of start forming your team in the spring. So winter and spring, you kind of forming your team. And I think you get to the summertime between traveling and camps and all the other stuff and kind of trying to put your team together, you kind of got your spot solidified, especially if you play like some of those key positions like quarterback or something like that.
For sure.
So most of those things. And then what's big for high school guys is the college coaches coming on campus in January. That's huge. You know what I mean? Because those guys come on campus on January and they kind of like putting, they kind of dotting every I, crossing every T, kind of in that winter, spring area, trying to get you guys to camps or put out committable or non-committable offers at that time, whatever. So a lot of times that kind of happens around that time of winter. But it's very, very, it's very tricky, man, with a lot of that stuff, especially in high school. It's very, very tricky with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, man. With that transferring in December, January, whatever, however you want to do after that 9 weeks, January. But that is, to me, that's the best time, like I said, man, what the last point you just said, because those coaches are coming on campus. And,
right.
And you want to get to a program. Obviously, coaches are going to a lot of schools around the county, a lot of schools around the state, whatever. But if you are looking to transfer, you want to get to a school that's going to have big-time coaches coming to the campus and be in front of them.
Right.
With film.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That, if you don't got film.
Right. And I also understand most kids now is virtual. So, they really like free agents all the time. You know what I'm saying? Right. He don't even go to school. You know what I mean? So I think most kids are that way anyways, that you're talking about, like you talking about football.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely the ideal time and situation to do it. I think that's when you see the most, to be honest with you. I think summer you see a few, but for the most part, December, next month and January, you see the high volume. Probably a little bit of February too, but you see these next 3 months is the high volume. If you go back years and years, I think even last year, the most movement you see is these next 3 months, and it's chaos. I think most coaches, Christmas breaks are miserable. I think they New Year's, they nervous. They don't know what's going to happen. So I think a lot of coaches stepped down through that time too.
Yeah, I just seen on Twitter today the
coach
Freedom coach stepped down.
Stepping down, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, you look at that thing, man. You're like, hold on, man, y'all ain't finna leave me here by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know what I mean. But I think right now it's that time for most coaches, man. It's that time for most coaches that they panicking, man. So, and I think kids kind of own to that they, man, this time that we're gonna transition during this time right here. So I think most coaches are alert.
Once week 8 roll around, kids are talking about they picking and choosing.
They doing it during the season.
Yeah, I was saying they're picking and choosing. Okay, y'all finna move to that school. Okay, this kid leaving. I can go replace him. That kid or that coach or whatever.
But you know what? It starts in the parts, bro. Like if they move from part to part, you know what I mean? They move from part to part.
You're right.
In Little League football, you're gonna pretty much see the same thing in high school. They move from school to school for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of getting the same thing you kind of getting in part leagues. You know what I'm saying? Getting the same thing.
That's very true. I mean, that's the one thing, with this day and age that I feel like is lacking compared to how, when we was growing up and everything like that, is that one, the kids are moving part to part, you're going to different, youth league teams. But I also think that there's not enough collaboration between high school and youth in the parks. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was growing up, I played for the Winter Park Tigers, and I went to Winter Park High School. You know what I'm saying? We play our home games, play at Showalter at Winter Park High School, field. Apopka Blue Darters were called Apopka Blue Darters. They only played, all the kids who played with Apopka Blue Darters Little League, they played at Apopka Blue Darters High School. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Jones, they got, I think they call them Central Tigers, but they all play at Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the Jets, Pine Hill Jets. They all play at Evans. I'm speaking for Orlando because I'm from whatever, but you know what I'm saying? That's
how it should be. Yeah.
Oviedo kids went to Oviedo. You know what I mean? And
you know what's crazy? Like you look at Revere Beach Chargers. What percentage of those kids go play at Suncoast?
None, if any.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So like probably none of them. You know what I mean? So you definitely have it like that now. And you look at the Palm Beach Gardens League, it's divided between probably like 5 schools.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, to be real, we got 5 of them from 13U, you know what I'm saying?
Palm Beach Lake. Right. So, it's just like that. And then same thing with Palm Beach Rams. We divide that. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely, it is that. I mean, they taking the names.
Right.
I give them credit for that. But they definitely are dividing the parts. And like you say, and then you got parents moving from park to park as well. So if they move from park to park, a lot of times they're going to move from high school to high school. You know what I'm saying? You rarely get a kid for 4 years. You rarely get that now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even saying to a point of, you being winning state titles. You know what I'm saying? West Boca, I'm sure they get them in, they get them out.
They lost the kid.
The starting quarterback is at St. Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Came from West Boca. And then you got the starting receiver at Atlantic came from Atlantic.
He went to Atlantic, then he went to West Boca and went back to Atlantic this year.
Right. Look at that. And then I think Thompson is from Atlantic, right? Yeah. There you go. And DeMar Cherry is from Somerset. Right. So you know what I mean? So you gonna get some kids.
Tagan Brisley, whatever his name is.
He's from Somerset?
From Somerset
as well. And I'm sure they got some other Atlantic kids too. So you do get that. So whether you winning, you get it that way, or you losing, you get it that way. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna get it both ways. It really doesn't matter. Like you're gonna lose kids. I mean, you just want to be able to, build a program up high enough. So if you do lose a kid, you're able to sustain and keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like your bad year got to be 6-4 or 5-5. Right. You know what I mean? Not 0-10.
Now Sam got a good program over there. Like, well, his first year, over there now, being the head, being the head man over there. He's got a good end, obviously, with the youth program. So he's got that.
That's his program.
He got that pipeline. Now, how's he still able to coach both of that? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know how he got more time in the day, bro. But that was a smart hire because you can kind of jump over that hoop of, because if he get his kid from his parts to the high school, you may be able to jump over that hoop of kids leaving you in out your program like that. So I just think a lot of people were surprised. We wasn't, but at all the kids were going to Royal Palm last year. Right. Like, it was like every day or two, man. Kids were going to Royal Palm. But we were like, I'm sure all those kids played for him out there at the Park League. You know what I'm saying? So we understood like that movement that he had. You know what I mean? Now he has to sustain that. You know what I mean? Because the biggest thing when you come off that high horse, of that you got to be able to sustain it. And I think they will though. I really think I think what Royal Palm is doing.
Yeah, like what he's doing over there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's a movement behind them. Yeah. You see a machine.
It's coming. Yeah, Sam about to crank up over there, and it's rolling. So, before we wrap up, man, I want to touch playing time, right? Because we talking about transfers, right? And talking about Sam, Sam's getting guys in. We got guys in. Everybody got guys in. Once you get guys in, guys expected to play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this is high school football. It's not little league. It's not youth league no more. Yeah. We don't have to play anybody. Right. We play who we feel like we gonna give us the best chance to win.
Correct.
Most coaches are playing guys who give the best chance to win. Now, is there favoritism? Sure, we all human beings, and every coach has whatever. But most coaches ain't being like, I'm not gonna play this good kid over a bad kid because I like the bad kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think we ran into a little bit of that this spring and not spring, the summertime or whatever. And then even Suncoast. I walk over there and speaking to my people. I can hear parents over there saying, man, they playing favorites and they're doing this, all this kind of stuff like that. So, how do you go about dealing with playing time with the player and with the parent?
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough whether you're doing little league, you're doing high school, college ball, or pro ball, right? You look at pro ball right now, right? They why Shador ain't playing over Gabriel, and why he got picked 5th round and not 3rd round, or like you just gonna get that, and you get that in. And I'm sure when Shador was in college football, I'm sure somebody in the locker room was saying he shouldn't be starting over me.
Right.
Because I ain't got opportunity to start. I don't care how good I do in practice. He ain't gonna put his son on the bench, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I'm sure he got it that. And then you look at high school ball, you're gonna get that as well, because at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, this is my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, my baby's the greatest ever, you know what I'm saying, or the best ever, or whatever. So man, I'm gonna critique every little bad thing that kid is doing. I'm not gonna look at all the good things he's doing. I'm gonna look at all the bad things he's doing, because the bad things, my son ain't gonna do those bad things, right? Then your son get out there, he do some stuff, then that parent gonna say, look, my son should be playing over him. Look at all the bad things he's doing. So I think you're never gonna get to that point of just pleasing everybody. I'm sure every program got that, right? I'm talking about all the top programs, all the bad programs. You have that. But as a coach, you just got to be the best you could be in that situation, and being genuine as possible to say, listen, man, and be transparent. This is what we got going on. So you have an opportunity to stick here and play your role on this team, or you can transfer out the program. You know what I mean? If you feel like this program is not for you. So, but be transparent and give that opportunity. I think where coaches can run in trouble at if you're not transparent. So if you kind of like hiding and you're doing this and doing that, and you kind of just not being as transparent, and then you get into a situation that it comes out that way, and then now you didn't say this or you didn't say that, and then now I'm in this situation. But I think if you being transparent as a coach, whether you talking about the leagues, I'm talking about high school, college, NFL, whatever. If you're being transparent as a coach and you're being transparent with the family, being transparent with the player of the situation. You know, we come through old school coaches. Mm-hmm. They ain't telling you nothing, right? You feel how you want to feel. That's on you, but you ain't even run my program. You know how coaching was, right? So we gotta be more flexible in the way we do it now. So it's like a conversation, like, hey man, this is kind of the plan, and then you could, figure this thing out from there. You know what I'm saying? But I think we are transparent like that. You know what I mean? We are very, very transparent. Yeah, like this is what it is, and you know what I mean. You can make the decision going forward. But yeah, you're gonna deal with it. We deal with it here at Lates. I'm sure every other program deal with it. That's not going to stop. That's not going to stop. I don't care how good we get. That's not going to stop, right? And so, again, when we first started the program, we dealt with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't good at all. Right. We kind of got in that mid category this year, and we still deal with it. So you're going to deal with it. But I think we all on the same page as the staff. One thing that we're not doing as staff is saying, this kid should be over this kid, this kid should be over, because that's going to divide everybody. Our staff is 100% behind every decision that we make, which is big for us, because you got probably some staffs out there that a coach may go behind another coach back and say, you should be starting that kid, bro. Coach trying you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then now that brings up, because now I'm hearing it from you now. You see what I'm saying? So it's different. Right. It's like you get pulled over and the second cop come over here and say, hey, man, bro, bro racist. You really should have got pulled over. Now you're going to snap. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's the same thing now. So I think, like, for the coaches to be on the same page with everything, but as a coaching style, we very, very close, and we very, we tight because we got history back with each other. Mm-hmm. But I think with some coaching style, they run into that trouble of just almost like kind of like, flaming that fire. Like, okay, you should be playing over him, or you should be playing or like him over him, or whatever it may be. And when you have situations like that, that increase that situation, because now that parent has some ammo now, or that player has some ammo now that I should be playing on, because coach said that. Right, coach said, he told me. Right, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But other than that, if you're transparent, you should be fine in most of those situations. And then, like you said, you ain't gonna please everybody. But a lot of time, okay, my son ain't playing over this kid. Let me transfer him here. Let me transfer him there, and with the opportunity to play. And, hopefully it works out for you.
Yeah, man, and with that, like, and speaking to like the players in general, man, like, when you get your opportunity, a lot of times you do get your opportunity at some point in practice or at some point in spring. That's another reason why if you're going to transfer, make sure you transfer in spring so you had an opportunity, because you transfer in summer, you could be too late.
Could be doing the same, you run into the same situation.
Run into the same situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you get your opportunity as a player, man, you got to maximize your opportunity. Right. If you get that one play, that gotta be you gotta do something. Yeah. On film that when coach go back and look at it and say, oh, wait a minute, okay,
we should be putting that.
Let's at least give him another rep. Right. Well, you know what I'm saying? When the spotlight is on you, I always feel like if you're a good athlete, the spotlight gets on you at some point. Mm-hmm. Now it's up to you to keep that spotlight on you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you go out there and drop a pass when everybody like, oh man, he finna go and watch. Especially when you got, like you're talking about, you got coaches kind of battling about like this kid or that kid. And one coach is saying, hey man, go in there and jump in there. Yeah. And the spotlight on you, and then you mess it up.
It's like, come on, man. Back out of there. Yeah. That's not it. Yeah. Right. But definitely I just think, like, with kids, you're gonna deal with it, because it's so much pressure on kids now than it was a long time ago. Because these kids coming to high school with so much weight on their back, the NILs, the going D1, probably the brother went D1 or whatever, or the mom saying this and that, or the dad saying this and that. And I just think, like, now I will say with us, we have not ran into the issue, quote unquote, like other schools would have run into, because a lot of our kids that came into our program was probably on JV the year before. Almost, so we have that argument. Say, hell on, he was on JV in the other program. Like, don't come over here and say, you know what I mean? So we have that, in our mind, say, no, we got to develop you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not coming in as the finished product. Right. You got some programs that getting kids coming in probably the finished product. This kid probably had 700 yards receiving in the last program. Right. This kid probably threw for 2,000-3,000 yards in the last program. You see what I'm saying? So he coming in to you guys as one of the best, in our area. So yeah, you coming in with something. But we haven't not got to that point that we kind of get those kind of kids into our program that came in, for the most part, came in just like all world. And it's like, obviously that kid, when you gonna get the more opportunity than another kid gonna get. You see what I'm saying? But other programs dealing with that, I'm sure dealing with that. But With us, that's not the case. But I would think as a staff or what helps a staff, you know, in my opinion, I'm sure other people got other opinions, is that just be transparent, man, from day one. You know what I mean? So now you're transparent from day one, you got plenty of opportunity if you feel like it's not a program for you, you know, that you can move, right? Whether you see the writing on the wall in the spring, whether you see the writing on the wall in the summer, you see the writing on the wall. You know, make a decision if you have to make that decision. But if you don't make this, if you decide to sit here and stick it out, then obviously play your role. If you don't want to play your role, then we got to kind of make a move and get you off the roster, because we can't have you divide the program.
Still got opportunity in practice if you're not playing or whatever, but yeah, man. So that's the episode number 8, man, of the Coach Tmo Show, man. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, doing all that kind of stuff, man. We're gonna try.
Make sure y'all tune in, man. Thursday, man. Hopefully, pray, man. Hopefully we get in, man. So I know y'all heard our case. So make sure you guys are praying for us, man.
Please
get us in there, man.
Please, get us in there, man. But yeah, so as the season wind down, man, we're gonna try to get this thing to you back to back, man. So we'll be back either next week or week after, something like that. We come back with another episode, man. And yeah, all right, man. That's Tmo Show. Yeah.
I appreciate it.